Thank you. This is really...
Bill, we won 2-1.
We did. This is really tough for me. You know, I thought to myself driving here tonight, what if in this audience there were a dozen or so people who'd said, let's go to the theatre tonight, Mary. Let's go, away we go. Let's go and see, that looks good, Blood Brothers. And they've sat with you lot. And they're saying to themselves, is it like this every night? And you know, the thing is, it is a bit. It is a bit because, you know, I am really incredibly proud to be part of a West End that is vibrant, ever-changing, full of wonderful people. I somehow doubt there'll ever be one like this again. Why is this didn't come out of... It did actually come out of one man, one genius, called Willie Russell. But it didn't come out of rave reviews, it didn't come out of millions of people on stage tapping girls, helicopters, chandeliers. It came out... I love that. But this show was discovered by you lot. This is the People's Musical. If ever there was a musical for the British public, it is Blood Brothers. So many people have come up to me tonight and said, this has meant so much to me, this has changed my life, and this is, we just love this show. Well, I'm so grateful to all of you, to you, and especially you lot up there. All the support you get. Will you sit down? Because I'm going to go on for a few minutes. You want to sit down? You sure? Because the thing is, honest to God, I wasn't going to come up and say something. I really wasn't. But when I start, because there are so many people to thank. We start with Willie, of course, and as I said, this was the musical that the people discovered. I don't know whether you know, but we were on tour for 2 years before Willie decided we could bring it in the West End, because it had been on at the Lyric, as you know, and it hadn't been a huge success. And I think he was a bit emotionally hurt by the experience. And eventually he said, okay, let's give it another go. And there's a man in the audience somewhere who actually, when no one else would, found me in the theatre, my friend Bill Friedman, and he said, come into the Albury. Something had come off there. And Blood Brothers opened to the smallest advance in West End theatre history. We had less than £200 in the box office. So it's true. So what we did was we did £1 first preview, £2 second preview, and we actually got to £9 before we opened. And it got, again, some great reviews, some not so great reviews, but the public just kept coming. But we were given notice at the Albury, where we opened, after a couple of years. Bill had gone by then, and I had Dancing at Lunacy on here, Brian Friel's play, and I said, bugger off, we're not coming off. And we closed on the Saturday at the Albury, and we opened here on the Wednesday, and we've had 20 fantastic years at the Phoenix Theatre. And I'd like to thank, I'm starting the thank you nows. Thank you nows. I'd like to thank all the staff, front of house, box office, management, everyone here, for giving us a home. For giving us a home when we were wandering players. I'd like to thank all the fantastic backstage staff here who support us. Really, thank you. And you know what? They are pretty cut up about this too. To the boys on the lines, the spots, wherever you are, or girls, to all of you, thank you so much for making Blood Brothers work here. Thank you to my staff who loved this production as much as me over the years, to David, Julius, all of you. Thank you so much. And I now get to extraordinary thank yous. This production would never have started without a guy from Liverpool, like me, my blood brother, my co-director, Bob Thompson. Was the artistic director of the Queen's Theatre Horn Church and put on Blood Brothers and many other shows with me in 20 odd years ago, and here we are today, and there'll be a lot of sobbing when you lot leave, I promise you. We've also been helped on the journey right from the word go by a wonderful MD, Rod Edwards. Fantastic band who've been with us for the whole of the 20. They were young kids. When we started off, they were young kids, and he had hair. They really were youngsters. Well, you still are, guys, but you can go back now. And I'm going to forget someone. We've got a company manager who's worked, and he's never, ever... Wonderful stage management team, sound engineer back there who's worked his little balls off for the last couple of years. Because I am the kind of producer who for the first 10 years said to him, louder, louder, louder. And for the last 10 years said, oh, take it down a bit. Do take it down a bit. So, confusion from the director. I'm going to miss people. I don't want to miss anyone. John Miller, my music producer, got all this together with me down there. Rod is always with me. Tom Earhart, who is Willie's manager agent, who's looked after this production like no agents ever looked after any musical. Thank you, Tom, very much indeed. And you know who the 100 or so kids were, don't you, on the screen back there? Well, they were, I hope, all of the Blood Brothers, all of the Lindas, all of the Brendas, the Donna Maries, the Postmans, everyone that has appeared in this production. And I'd really like you to give the biggest round of applause you can to three of them in particular. The boy who started off the journey with me, Robert Locke, who was the very first. The great Charlie Wayne, lead singer of The Move, and of course someone everyone in the West End misses, loves. We miss her. the incomparable Stephanie. To all of them, to all the others, to Kiki, to Con, to all of them who've gone on the journey and not here, heartfelt thanks, and to you three up there, God bless you. And this lot who have... Can you imagine? He's been getting that finger bashed for the last 10 years. He's done the post. How many posters? 4,000 posters. And absolutely all of them, but there's got to be some special mentions. There has to be. There's someone who has made the journey all the way with me here tonight. You might know we opened on Broadway, and Jack Tinker wrote in his review in the Daily Mail, if Al Jolson, Elvis Presley, and Judy Garland had come back for one night, they couldn't have got a better and bigger ovation than Blood Brothers got at the Music Box on its opening night, because Jack was there. But an hour after the curtain came down, we got the worst reviews you have ever seen. We were murdered. And we had this wonderful big party, and I've got a lovely photo in my office of this man here, and he's got his arm round me. That's the photo. And alongside him was this guy here, and this little thing here. And you know what happened? We got noticed there too. We were told we were coming off. I said to a very startled theatre manager, theatre owner, you're going to need a bulldozer to get us out of here. And anyway, I've got David Cassidy, Petula Cassidy, and Sean Cassidy to take over when the Brits go back. I can guarantee you, David Cassidy never even heard of Blood Brothers at that time. And I don't think he's spoken to Sean Cassidy for 5 years. And Petula Clark was my idol, but she'd never heard of Blood Brothers either. And when they said yes, that's the theatre owners, not David, Sean and Petula, I had a job to do. But we got David, Sean and Petula in. Amazingly, they fell in love with the production, and Blood Brothers became, thanks to starting it off, the miracle of Broadway, which it is still known as the only musical in American theatre history to beat the New York Times. And we did it. To make these last 2 weeks special, I asked that threesome to come back. And I also asked, there's no favourites in life. I'm not allowed to have favourites, but one of my very favourite Mrs. Johnsons. Who is as lovely as she is talented. Sean, one of our great Mickeys, has been on the road for many, many years. He came in. And here's what speaks more volumes about Blood Brothers than probably anything I could ever say. One of our great Mrs. Johnsons said she would play Mrs. Lyons for me for the last 2 weeks. So think that's it. I think it is over now. And, oh, don't start me off. But listen, seriously, thank you, all of you, because it's been the best. Thank you.